friends, welcome back to She's At It Again. My name is Tanya and we're going to go in the kitchen and make a new kind of pizza. I've given you recipes for other pizzas before. You have the crust recipe. In fact, I think we've done 2 different kinds of crust recipes, and you can have the sauce recipe, but we'll link those in the video as well. But let's go make a different kind of pizza. This is called a 4 Seasons pizza. You'll see why. Come on. All right, in the kitchen now. Hopefully all the microphones and everything are working. This is my dough. The dough recipe that we're going to link makes twice this much, so it makes 2 pizzas. But I made one last night, and then I saved this one for tonight because last night I was just too tired to do a video on how to show you anything. I could show you a video on how to almost fall asleep at dinner, but not much else. All right, and take our dough. This has been in my refrigerator for probably 5 or 6 days. Just mix up the dough, put it in a bag. I keep it in this bag that has a little bit of oil on the inside. And just keep it in there, and the longer it stays in the refrigerator, the better the flavor. It just behaves much better when you leave it in the refrigerator, and it ages, or I'm thinking it probably ferments a bit in the refrigerator. Now, it doesn't go bad. Don't misunderstand. It doesn't go bad. It just, it relaxes a lot more. So it doesn't draw back up. When I'm rolling it out, it doesn't just keep going back into a small circle. It actually stays rolled out. So again, I'm doing this just like I do all the other pizzas. If you're new to our channel, welcome. And we have several pizza recipes in our videos in our history. But this is one that, you know, I go to places and I visit, and if somebody says, let's have pizza, I always take pictures of our food, and I just come home and duplicate it. So this is from a restaurant in a town not too far from us. And everybody raves about how good their pizza is, and they have a wood-fired oven, pizza oven. And this is called a 4 Seasons pizza because you have the option of either having all the ingredients mixed, or they divide it into quadrants and they put each ingredient on a quarter of it. Now, I'm just going to mix mine all together because I want all the ingredients in each piece. All right, let me turn this way so you can see what I'm doing over here. This is our pizza peel. And same instructions as I always give. You're going to take your dish towel, your clean kitchen dish towel, and this is the short end. The top is the short end. The sides are the long ends. I'm going to put it right at the neck of the pizza peel, pull the rest of the fabric under, and lay the pizza peel on top of it. We're going to transfer our dough over to the pizza peel. Scoot back over this way. And I'm going to tuck this under just because if there's a little bit of an edge on it and the sauce decides to make a run for it, if it's thin enough, then it'll go all over the bottom of the oven. But normally my sauce is not that thin, but you just never know when something, like my mushrooms, for instance, I always buy organic mushrooms when they're marked down at the supermarket. I come home, I brush them off real well, and I chop them up and put them in the freezer. So those are fresh mushrooms, but they had been frozen. They're thawed out just a little bit. But sometimes when you freeze mushrooms and thaw them out, they tend to have a little bit of moisture in them, and that's something that I don't want going all over the bottom of the oven. So thus we put a little edge on our pizza, and it's not real thick, but nevertheless it does have an edge on it. All All right, this is our pizza sauce, and I freeze it in ice cube trays, and it takes about 2 of these cubes of frozen pizza sauce, which I thawed, put it in the refrigerator, thawed this morning. Takes about 2 of those, which equals about 1/4 cup. Each one of the ice cubes is about 2 tablespoons, so 2 of the cubes is about 1/4 cup. We're going to spread our sauce around. Now, we'll tell you this, if you're new to making pizza, this is my best advice I can give you, other than the pizza dough needs to sit in the refrigerator for several days and rest. The other is have everything made ahead of time. And I say that because there's nothing worse than getting to an ingredient and going, oh, you know what, I don't even have that. So I'll show you what this plate looks like that I have ready over here. Move, cheese. This is what my plate looks like of ingredients that we're going to put on there. Here's the Kalamata olives, the cremini mushrooms, the prosciutto, artichoke hearts, and here's my mozzarella that I have sliced up. Because it's whole milk mozzarella, it's a little soft, and I don't shred it. I cut it up into squares. And we're just going to lay it on there, and it all melts together beautifully. You can't see squares of cheese on anything. And I would dare say, if you try our pizza sauce recipe, you will likely never go back with a pizza sauce that you've been using. I don't care if you use canned spaghetti sauce. You will probably not go back to that because this is so fabulous. I say that with all humility. It is the best. All right, next step is to put our mozzarella on. I have my oven preheating to 500 degrees. Now mine is a convection oven, and it kicks the temperature down about 50 degrees automatically when I turn it on because there's fans in there going. But if you have a regular conventional oven, you'll set it to 500. If you have a convection, you'll set it to 500. It'll probably kick the temperature down. But nevertheless, we just want a very, very hot oven. Zoe, you can't have this. She knows I have cheese in my hand. If you're not familiar with prosciutto and have not used it before, you'll find it in the specialty meats at your supermarket. And I like it because the only ingredients is pork and sea salt. It is dry cured, so there's no nitrates or nitrites in it. So that means it's not carcinogenic. Thank goodness for that. And it is very, very good. And it is so thin that they put little sheets of, it looks like something they used to put between sheets of negatives. If you're familiar with any photography stuff, sheets of negatives, it's just so thin. It's like, I think it's called glycine, these little paper sheets. Okay, so now we're going to start putting our toppings on, and you can put them on there any order you want, but I'm going to go ahead with my, let's see, with my artichoke hearts and put those on first. Now you can chop these up smaller if you need to, but I'm just going to put those on there. These were quartered in the can, and that's how I'll put them on there. And we like artichoke hearts, so these are really yummy. Just kind of randomly scatter them on there. Next, I'll put the mushrooms on. And then we'll put the olives on. The final ingredient that we'll put on these is Parmesan Reggiano cheese, and we won't put that on until after it comes out of the oven. So you did see Parmesan over there, but we're going to put it on after it comes out. All right, this prosciutto is on. I took it out and took the pieces apart so it'd be easier to work with, but see, it's on that little piece of, I'll just call it glycine. Maybe I'm making up a word, I don't know. And at the restaurant that we ordered this at, my friend Alicia and I always go, and we always decide on what we're going to have because we split everything. I mean, we could order one French fry and we're going to split it and enjoy it and talk about it through the whole meal. But we ordered this pizza, and I don't think they quite put this much prosciutto on there. They just put a few slices on. Nonetheless, it was really good, but they just kind of tore theirs in little strips. It wasn't cut neatly like this was, so I kind of like that rustic look, but I did need to cut this ahead of time just so I wouldn't be fighting this piece of paper and wasting time. Zoe, you can't have prosciutto either. Not for doggies. Okay, so everything is ready to go, and as soon as our oven preheats, which should be in just a minute, then we'll pop that in there. All right, I'm at this other angle because I want you to see how I transfer the pizza off the pizza peel into the oven. I've done this several times, but I wish you were standing right here so I could tell you. All right, picking our pizza up like this, you're going to grab what's considered the tail of this towel, and I'm going to place it on the very back edge of my pizza stone. My pizza stone is in the bottom of the oven. I don't know if you can see it from the reflection, but it's in the very bottom of the oven, on the very, like the floor of the oven. So hold on to the handle, lay it down, pull the towel as I'm pulling back on the pizza peel, and it transfers onto the stone. Now that stone is 500 degrees right now, so it is scorching hot. I'm going to put this at about 9 minutes, and it may not even take that long, but we'll see. I'll let you see it when it comes out, and we'll put our Parmesan on it. Okay, 10 more seconds till it comes out. It looks like it's done. It's bubbly on the top. It's fabulous looking, so you'll see it in just a second. All right, I'm simply going to use these tongs right here, grab the edge of the pizza and pull it onto the pizza peel. Just like that. And it smells good too. All right, we're going to take our Parmesan, and instead of using a grater, I want these to be long, larger pieces. So I'm just using a vegetable peeler. Zoe, you're not getting the Parmesan. Not a lot of Parmesan, but enough to where you're going to get that salty taste. And I love the taste of Parmesan. And for pity's sake, do not buy pre-shredded cheese and think it's going to melt on this. It's just not going to do it. Well, unless you put it back in the oven. Okay, this is what our pizza looks like. All right, I'm gonna let that cool off a bit and I'm gonna start eating. Thanks for joining us. The recipe will be in the description as always, and we look forward to sharing something again with you real soon. Bye.